Shadow of the Colossus, I believe, shipped in the US in '06. It's been 5 years. Still, I think this game does not age at all. It has a very unique aesthetic to it. A very radical change in terms of the approach to the game design, where Eco was more of a closed environment in a castle, versus Shadow of the Colossus is more dynamic. It's an open field. You're challenging huge beasts. So this is the first scene into the game after all the cutscenes. There's this mysterious girl who's basically unconscious, knocked out. You're trying to bring her back. And you're on a mission. You're given this horse called Agro. Whoop. Let me get on here. So immediately you're out in the open, big open field, wide open. I think you'll notice the up-res is very significantly clear, crisp. I'll try and show you this, but the motion blur is very effective. It's been redesigned for the PS3, again, to further enhance that experience and to the qualities of the visuals. My objective is to basically find the Colossi, my first Colossi, so to speak. Your objective is to find and tackle the Colossi one by one in hope to bring back that girl. Very emotional experience, actually, and so is Eco, of course, but both very emotional in their different ways. Somewhat similar to Eco, you're basically climbing objects, somewhat puzzle-based mechanics that you need to tackle. But in comparison, again, the world is a much more open world environment. Similar to Eco, since we're bringing this to PS3, Shadow of the Colossus also will have trophy support, of course. And once we get to the Colossi, you will see how the HD, and again, I wish I could show you 3D on camera, but it's just not possible. Now, obviously, in Shadow of the Colossus, you experience a very different type of scale, so to speak. Obviously, the Colossi are enormous. And one thing that's unique about Shadow of the Colossus in terms of a game design point of view is the dynamic, kind of the deforming collision map, basically, that was required from a physics point of view to allow for the Colossi, number one. Back in the day, PS2, most collision maps were basically squares or rectangles, be it buildings or what have you. But in this case, this giant creature that you're trying to attack has dynamic collision maps that are constantly changing form or factor because it's moving and you're climbing up it. I believe that in itself was kind of ahead of its time, in the sense that creating that kind of a physics dynamic was very difficult for the team to pull off, but they did make it happen. I keep repeating myself, but I think that they were ahead of their time in the fact that they pulled that off in the PS2 era. Again, revisiting that with the PS3 technology, not only the graphics, but I think it really benefits the game to kind of what it was meant to be, if I may say that. Maybe it's an overstatement, but that's how I see it. So basically, all of the Colossi have each of their weak points. You're kind of trying to explore each of the Colossi. They all have different characteristics, different type of body types. I think you'll enjoy the variance of those, let alone how they behave, how they act, and of course, finding those weak points is in itself a very challenging act. So as I was saying earlier, it's a very emotional moment of tackling these Colossi. I mean, they really don't mean any harm, and the only reason you're going after these guys are basically to help that girl. And it kind of breaks your heart that they are living creatures and you're trying to tackle these one by one. And again, you'll really experience the sense of scale, obviously, as you're climbing up or on top of these Colossi. This one is probably the most easiest in the game. Some get obviously a lot more challenging as you go through. But again, very emotional factors in Shadow of the Colossus, Eco respectively, on a different level. Both of these games will be releasing on a single Blu-ray disc in September 27th to be exact. We will also include vouchers for you to download dynamic themes, one for Eco, one for Shadow of the Colossus, and we will also be throwing on a video. Can't tell you details yet. I'm dying to. I can tell you this: I was at the shoot. It's good stuff. We're in the midst of editing that and putting that together. Look forward to it. You're gonna love it, especially if you are fans of Eco and Shadow of the Colossus. Even if you're not, I think you'll enjoy it as well. Again, we're very excited to bring this out this September, and hope you enjoy it. Either if you are traditional fans or new fans visiting these franchises.